Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Londonderry View, episode 73. It's hard to believe, Carol.
I know, it's crazy.
That's 73 episodes in. You might remember our last episodes were a way to celebrate all the good people that were willing to run in our town and school election. We invited all the candidates on to have a little 10 minutes of just sharing all the good positive reasons why they're running, and that was really successful. It seemed like it helped a lot of people out back home to know a little bit more about the candidates. We want to give a little shout out. Our next town election, everyone, is March 10th of 2026, and we really are hoping that you can help us start to spread the word now so that everyone possible that's a registered voter or that wants to register on election day comes out to vote. Out of 19,000 registered voters, most of them came out for the presidential, but sadly for our town election, only 3,700 came out, and that's where all of our town, our school, all of the issues that are going to affect us, some people like to say our pocketbooks, our children, our seniors, all of us, happen, and the people who are going to represent us at our town and school level. So remember that date, March 10th, 2026, and it'll be here before you know it. So mark your calendars and please plan to come out and vote or think about absentee ballots if you're traveling. So that's one big thing we wanted to tell you about. And then also this season, starting our new season of the Londonderry View, we're going to do a lot of shows such as this one in the studio. With many special guests. We have a special guest tonight coming on, and also we're going to do what we call off-site shows. I always say it wrong, but one of our first ones, Physical, F-Y-I-C-A-L, Therapy and Balance Center right here in Londonderry. They've invited us, and we've been looking forward to going to their business to learn more about what they do. The Nest has reached out, many other great places.
Cedars Embrace.
Oh, Carol, yes. Tell them a little bit about Cedars Embrace.
Yeah, Cedars Embrace, it's a salt cave, meets retail therapy. It's just a place where you can go and be and relax, and it's lovely.
And she's welcomed us in. And,
yes.
It's one of those when you just need to relax and breathe and appreciate who you are, and we're looking forward to that one. That'll be nice, and our Deb will be with us on that for all of the upcoming shows. Just so many people are under the weather, and so we're missing her tonight, but the show's going to go on, and she'll be back. So yes, so lots of good things coming up. Our senior center, we hope to get over there too and do a show. And if you have any ideas for us, please share. You know, you can go to the cable website, and we'd love to hear from you too. But Carol has some important information about some laws that we need to make sure we're following.
Yep. So as a lot of you know, April is dog registration month. We have May as our grace period. And by law, New Hampshire law, all dogs must be registered. So you can register online, in person, or by mail. And just some fun facts that we have over 4,900 dogs in Londonderry currently registered for 2026. We have 2,924. The registration for puppies up to 7 months is $750. Spayed and neuter dogs are also $750. Unaltered dogs are $10, and our senior citizens get a discount for $3. And then coming up in May, we're having our annual Rabies Clinic with Dr.
Deb
Myrna.
wanted us to make sure that we had our sign that Kirsten made for us.
Yeah,
so there's our sign.
It's awesome. So it's May 3rd, 10 to 1, and I think we're opening an hour early at 9 to register your dogs.
Absolutely. So even if you don't need a rabies vaccination, you're all set there. Just getting in on a Saturday, come in, and there'll be Carol and Deb, probably Tracy and others there to register your dog. So we're hoping it'll help some of the people out in the community too, because as Carol said, dog registration in the state of New Hampshire is the law. So important.
And it's only $20.
Which is a lot less than when you have to make an appointment at a vet usually.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun.
It really will be.
So May 3rd,
May 3rd. Mark your calendar. Help us to spread the word. Hudson did recently have a rabies clinic that was very successful. Derry just had theirs, but there was an overflow of people that were looking. So please spread the word too, that it's not just Londonderry residents. We welcome everyone. We're trying to help out as many dogs as we can and their family members to make sure that every dog is registered with the town in case they're lost. And also the rabies vaccination is to protect all of us. So a little extra there too. May, as Carol said, is the grace period from the state, so there's no extra fees. But once we get to June 1st, every month that you're late in registering your dog, by law, we have to charge you $1 a month. And then on top of that, we have what they call civil forfeitures issued by the state. We issue them, but it's a state RSA. It's $25 per dog, and it's the law. So our goal now, with 5,000 almost dogs in the town, to be close to 3,000 registered. That's an incredible effort put forth there, but now we just got to get those last 2,000. So, and also if your dog has passed sadly, or maybe you've moved to another community, please let us know that too, because then we won't keep reaching out to you, sending you emails also. So yeah, so please.
And I think we have a few raffles too.
Oh right, Carol, yeah.
At the clinic, so that'll be.
Trying to make it a little fun. We're hoping to have a microchip person there too. I forgot about that, Carol. Yeah, so it'll be quick and efficient, and and a great time on a Saturday that we're hoping to help. Convenient. That's what we're hoping to help. And we have some great people volunteering to be there too with us, especially Dr. Myrna from the Londonderry Animal Vet. So hope to see you there, or somebody that you might know. We'll be there from 9 until 1. So now we have a very special guest for you. It's our first guest of the season, and his name is Doug Cole, and he is our Assistant Recreational Director for the Town of Londonderry, and he's here with us tonight, and he's going to share with us a lot of the good up-and-coming things in the community too. So we're going to take a quick little pause, and then Doug will be back with us. And we're back with Doug Cole, our Assistant Recreational Director. And Doug, we thank you so much for being here with us tonight, and we are excited to hear about all the great things going on in the great town of Londonderry.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for the invite too. It's great to be here. So yeah, recreation is off and running for sure, especially with the spring months, and then we're revving up for summer at the same time. So what's been really great in my year and a half here is just seeing how much this community really is adopting everything, that are really jumping into everything that we're able to offer. I kind of use the analogy that it was Londonderry I found was kind of a dry sponge, and we started adding all these additional programs to it with our department, and they're soaking it up, just everything. So it's like we're the water, and they're just soaking it up. So the point where we're at we're almost bursting at the seams with numbers and participation numbers, which is a good thing, but it's also one of those things we start after looking forward. How are we going to handle that going forward too? So, but spring month's been great. We always talk about the ever popular program that always takes off is dodgeball. Dodgeball is just, it seems so simple, but it's one of those things that it is something that kids look forward to of every age, every single week, pretty much throughout the entire school year. And the best part is we get the adults and the parents that show up. And they stay, and they stay to watch, but also it's a cheering squad, it's a jeering squad. You kind of get a little bit of both. And then it culminates at the end of every program with the Parents First Kids game. So I think the parents they're studying the tactics, and then they kind of jump in so they can be involved with that. So we're approaching that at the end of May.
Carol, we got to get in on that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Get the view out there for it.
We have tried. The adults. You try to offer that as an adult program. I think more than one night probably is a little bit too much. I think when you try to do that for adults, because everybody gets a little bit sore. But for that one night, it's a lot of fun, and we get some great photos and lots of laughter. I always tell the kids, make sure you're really good that week leading up to it too. Just because the parents come and they're making sure they're going to be victorious as well. So, but we've got other great programs starting up again next month. We've got our tennis programs, we've got our track and field programs. So those numbers are continuing to increase. We actually have one that participates at the state level, Grand State Track and Field. Wow. So Londonderry is now part of that program that takes place. There's a state meet in June. I'm fortunate to be on the committee for that, so to have Londonderry involved with that is really something special.
Big
To,
for the town.
yeah, to be able to be up there. So that's growing numbers, and as we continue to look, and then we're looking ahead to summer. And summer this year is, I mean, we made some changes to the summer playground program's been going on for more years than I can count. I'm always told sometimes back in the, I think it was late 70s, this program's been going on, and we were able to change it from a morning and afternoon program to a full day program
That's
now.
awesome.
Parents are excited
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
because, especially with working parents, and and then do the children bring lunch, or the parents can bring lunch? Or?
So we actually, this was both options. So we partnered with Heaven's Kitchen last year, which is great. They're a nonprofit that provide lunches, healthy lunches for participants. And this year we were able to add it as part of the registration process for those that wanted it. So we have a full list going. We know food allergies. We know what meal plans are and what days people are going to be eating. And so we're able to plan with them accordingly to make sure that that's available during the lunchtime hour now, because we're going from a 9 to 12 with a break, and now we're going right from 9 to 3. That's the full day program for those that want it. There are still morning and afternoon
So
programs.
you can pick.
Yeah, but we beefed it up with we're having weekly entertainers. Leach Library is going to be involved again this
So
year, which was
fun.
great. Yeah, and with the growing numbers last year, we also needed to increase staffing. So we were fortunate this year to get advertising earlier with that program, but to also get staffers that were interested. So high school to college level, to even some adults in the population too. So we've got a nice demographic of coverage kind of going on, and we've more than doubled our staff from last year, which is going to be great, especially with the numbers. But also it's safety reasons, things along those lines that we're really looking forward to this year. And we have great site directors and counselors that are returning as well. So we've got some new knowledge, some new blood, but also the historical knowledge of people that have been doing it for a while.
That's.
Yeah.
Where does it really take place, Doug? the
So we're
summer
going to be at the
program?
South School this year, which is where it was
okay.
taking place for years. Last year was the first year we were at Matthew Thornton, which was nice for the central location, but I think the numbers, we haven't seen any dip, because I think having the full day option, you're only dropping off and picking up once, whereas in the past it was back and forth. So Matthew Thornton was good for that. I think with the full day option, South School is really set up for the camp, and I think it's going to be great this year. So I mean, the numbers, like I said, are bursting at the seams, which is a good problem to have. But I mean, we might even have to offer some additional staffing, and repost for hiring those positions. So
What a great
that's
problem
awesome.
to have.
it is,
know.
it is. And the other fun program that's taken off for its second year was our Voyager Camp. That's for our ages 11 to 15-year-olds. So that's a field trip based program. So I think we have 18 trips this year, usually 2 to 3 a week. And we go anywhere from, we do hiking, biking, we go deep sea fishing, we go play paintball. It's great because you get to explore the area, but you also you get to go and you get different participants that are interested in different things. So you get some that truly like to hike. We have some that only want to fish, and then you've got amusement parks. We've got Water Country and Canopy Lake, and you've got those are the highest numbers. People like to go and do those, and we're always open to adult chaperones helping, and our staffing numbers. So that's again that's a program that last year it's already increased. We have 75 participants in that program this year. So they don't go on every trip, but they get to pick and choose what they want to do, and we have a wait list of about 25 too. So I'd love to get everybody in. It's just about staffing numbers sometimes. What's really nice about all of our programs and what was established a couple years ago was our revolving fund for recreation, which it was $1,000 in there initially, but all revenue that comes in for programs and registration fees goes into that fund. So there's no taxpayer burden or dollars that go into any of these programs. And that includes for things that we're covering, staffing, transportation, the trips, the entertainers, all those things, even the expanded staffing that we're able to do, that's going to be all shifting over to revolving fund and covered. So we're kind of a self-sustaining department when it comes to those things. But for the needs that are there, as we're growing, it's necessary. So it's really
That's
something to see, and
exciting.
we're excited to update our tennis nets, and hopefully we're looking at you can start looking at resurfacing of court space, and just basic inventory, turning it over, things that have been in that camp for years and years, and now we're able to kind of get new equipment and not be using the old same markers or balls or anything like that. So we've been very fortunate, and it's one of those summer programs taking off and then into the school year, and I think last year we've offered about 50 new programs just through our department alone. And I think the Londonderry does a great job covering its basis when it comes to programming and opportunities for people, but there's always additional niches that can be covered, and I think that we're that additional outlet for people that are looking for those things. So, and it doesn't stop with just kids or family. We're really looking at adults as well.
It'd be nice,
yeah,
actually.
that's
Yeah.
something we took this last year at the end of the year. We did the survey for the summer camp, which is why we knew the full day was needed, and lunch coverage would be really a nice thing to provide. But then we also, we take surveys or notices from adults too, or when we go to Senior Expo, we took we took comments.
That's right. You would,
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
which was really nice because you meet
Yes.
it's a different populace than typically that are coming into the office or using our online registration, or they're also looking for more leisure activities. So the big one was trips. So this year we're trying to get trips off and running for the adults.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so working with New England Coach, and
that's wonderful.
so we have a whale watching trip coming up in July, so that's open right now. So we're trying. The first trip, unfortunately, we didn't get the numbers that we were hoping, so it had to be canceled. But we've got a couple more this year, and then it's just trying to plug away and finding both those elements, like I said, the leisure and then the recreational. Because last year for summer we had an adult kickball program that did take off, which was great. But it's tough because I think residents, parents, and guardians are so invested in what's going on with their kids' lives to have the extra time to come to a recreational dodgeball, recreational floor hockey for adults. It's tough to find the time.
Right.
So I know it was
But it just kind of starts too. It's just like you plant the seed, and then people tell people, and then this year you'll have more.
grow.
And and especially in New Hampshire, that's how it seems to work.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Oh, that's exciting.
Just kind of rolling through year two is already looking like that. And I said it's a good problem to have, but it's one of those things. Okay, now we got to look at how do we keep this sustainable going forward too? Just because I hate saying no, we want everybody being able to participate. So, but we've been very fortunate, and and what's so great is we work with so many different great groups and organizations here in town. So not from the sports leagues to just other departments. We like to collaborate too in a lot of our
Really
That's
nice.
awesome.
a lot of our offerings. So I guess that could be a good segue. So I also, not to brag on the department's behalf, but also to say thank you to all those groups that we do work with. But at the New Hampshire Recreation and Parks Association Summit last week, our department, Londonderry Rec, was actually awarded with two different awards. So I actually brought those here. So we have, one of them was a photo contest, which is actually so we got it for the Color Run last year. So. Which takes place at Old Home Day. That was a first-time event. This picture's nice because it's nice and sunny out. Because the first day it actually rained, so we had to have a rain check or a rain date to change it. So we only had about a third of the participants that came to the event for the makeup date. But we did have about 160
That's so
people
fun.
registered.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it
gosh!
was wonderful.
Right? That's.
And I got to credit Kirsten Hilden and took the photo. So that's it's always nice to have people that have that skill set
Really?
that can help
That's
out.
a wow picture. That
It
really
is. It was
is.
great.
It was a wow event.
It
really,
was.
to so many people.
We're looking forward to. We're going to be offering that
Wow.
again this year too. I
Oh
know
my
I'll discuss
gosh.
Old Home Day in a bit, but so that was one of the awards. So at the state level, that one's more kind of fun, and then we also got one for a special event. It's called the Roland Kim Perkins Award for Special Event Program Excellence. So this one's awarded to special events. So we were submitted for the Teddy Bear Clinic, which is taking place for the second year this year in February. So last year we had about 32 participants. We more than doubled that this year. And that's a great event for younger kids 10 and under in the community that can come and visit nurses that volunteer their time from local hospitals, the VA, as well as some EMTs that set up a kind of a trail station. But they come through and the kids get to bring their teddy bears or stuffed animals and go through the process of what it is to do a medical checkup. And it helps alleviate the anxiety that goes with that for some kids, whether it's shots or just being nervous to go to the doctor's office. So it's great to do that. And the kids get into it, the nurses volunteer their time to get into it, and to the point where kids are bandaging their stuffed animals' ears and every which way. Band-Aids come on and off, and it's a good time all the way through. We have different activities, and we're really thankful to the Londonderry Police Department that lets us use their community room for that. Again, we're
great
growing to the
program.
point. It might have to look for additional space, but Patrick Cheatham was really helpful this year too, and his officers, they were over there. So we had Princess Elsa, and it was really just added to
Princess
its little.
Elsa, that's
Yes,
right.
yep.
I remember hearing
Yep.
that.
So we added to that event. So really proud of these awards, but it's also a big thanks, and it's a testament to, I think, the volunteers, Old Home Day volunteers, the volunteers at the nurses in the at the clinic, as well as all these groups that we get to work with, all the wonderful departments in town that really help, and they help promote. And I think if we all lean on each other, we really are. We're heading in the right direction. I think not only our department, but Londonderry in general.
Yeah, that's what I love to see Londonderry, and then Londonderry over there. That it really helps, bring awareness to all the great things happening in our little corner of the world here, which is really so nice.
Absolutely.
No, that's very good news, right? Good things to share.
So we appreciate it.
Boy.
We appreciate everything everybody does, and I guess segueing back to Old Home Day, I mean that's going to be coming up soon too. Be getting ready to start planning that. That's taking place in August 13th to 16th. We'll have probably some similar template in the past that we've had with the senior bingo night and the concert on the Common, and then we're going to shift again to the color run taking place, and hopefully working with the Londonderry Police Association. We've got some ideas with that, bringing back the softball tournament, the inter-department softball tournament that took place last year. Hopefully somebody can beat one of the police department teams this year. We'll see. But yeah, and then carrying right into food vending trucks and the fireworks, and then of course the Saturday big event on Saturday where everybody comes out, which is wonderful to always see. And hopefully we have good weather again this year. So I think last year the color run was the only hiccup we had, but we were able to still get it off and going, which is So
we
it's really worth it.
persevere, right?
Persevere,
With whatever
absolutely.
happens, it's fun and good for everyone to come out. And boy, and what is the dates for our Old Home Day? Does it start on the 14th this year?
It should be the 13th to the 16th.
Right,
Yep.
that's right. That's John's birthday, I should remember that. That's right. The 13th of August through, and the fireworks, I mean, each year they keep getting better. Last year, a lot of people said on Friday night they were the best in the state, or the best they'd ever seen.
Absolutely.
With all those food trucks there, and even there were puppies and there were little kids running around. It was great, and seniors, and then the band down on the football field. That's good old all-American apple pie.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful. And your team doing it, and you and Kirsten, and
That's the thing. You get to when you work with the Old Home Day committee, you see the behind the gears, or the gears grinding behind the scenes, and that was my first time going through that. I had visited in the past with family, but to actually see the inner workings of it, I mean, it's a lot that goes into it, but it's so worthwhile. It's absolutely worthwhile, and the community again is just soaking things like that up. So it's just. There's a lot of opportunity here. That's what I like to I think of Londonderry. I think of opportunity and the potential for progressing that opportunity as well.
It's pretty great. It really is. And then who knows with the fall, also too, we have concerts on the Common that'll be kind of coming up, which I know everyone works together. And
when does that start?
That's going to start in May, I think, Doug.
I think it's first week in June. So I think we did post those. Yeah, they have
beautiful.
Those. Yep. So that's all set.
And that'll be every Wednesday night.
Yep, every Wednesday.
And it does exactly. And then too with Old Home Day, it's the Beatles. They're kind of the closing, aren't they?
They are. Yes. Yeah.
That's
right.
right.
I know people look. That's always draws a big crowd. So people look forward to that as well.
That's a nice one too. But it's wonderful to have you as part of it all, and with Art Salidas, who has been leading the way decades, in the community between our schools and our town, and even stepping up to be our acting town manager. Can't thank him enough for all that, and just seeing the two of you work together is,
He's a wonderful person, wonderful man, role model, somebody that you try to emulate a career. It's like that's the trajectory I hope to take. We've been very fortunate to be able to bounce ideas off each other, and just a great teamwork all the way through, and that goes all the way down through our seasonal laborers, even the seasonal staff that comes in, instructors. It all starts at the top, and Art's the best at it. That's for sure.
It really is. And you came to us from Salem, right?
I did, yes. I was in Salem for 8 years down there as a recreation coordinator. So similar getting programs off and running, but it took me 8 years to get where I already am here in Londonderry. So I came here thinking, it'll take a bit to get things going. It wasn't like that. It was 0 to 60 quickly, which is good. That's how I operate. That's how I was operating. That's how I work. So to be able to just stay with that flow and not worry. I guess it wasn't. Do people want this? And it's very evident with the numbers we're getting. I mean, we saw quite an increase. About
that's a big increase.
Yeah,
really.
I think 300% increase from 23 to 24. So.
Wow.
And online registration helps, and we're still available in the. We do have a small spot in the planning department. Lets me set up shop there. So their staff is always helping out when people do come in with paper registrations. But things can get you can mail things into us. You can use the online system. We're always available. Whether it's communication-wise, email is great. We have phone numbers. I should note the recreation hotline is going to be we're going to be getting rid of that, so it's going to be direct lines to Art or myself. Yep.
Good then.
So all the information will be on the new website. So there's always ways, and we're always open to other options, or if you have a different way or viewpoint of how you want to see things. We like ideas. It's not that we might not always get to them, just because obviously there's only so much we can do with a smaller department, but we really do try. So that's why I think even the adult trips was something was mentioned. It's like, well, let's try to make that happen for everybody, and it's not just it's not adults. We're going to have family-based trips too. So on weekends, so it's not messing up. Or one's on February or April vacation in the future.
That's right, because April vacation is right around the corner too now. And I know in our senior resource committee that we have, for years, the idea of trips has been coming up for our seniors and others, and it just never got off the ground. So now, and that too, it'll just take a little bit of going, and then, but that's wonderful. From 50s up. I mean, really, any adult that wanted to participate.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Alona's been probably our best solicitor of that up there.
Wonderful.
So she makes sure it's posted, and she's been great, and it gets it out there.
Director,
so
she's wonderful with
she's
it
been
all.
great. So and again, that's working together with other departments. So it's we like to be able to share information too. Sometimes it's the same information going out across all the pages, but it's showing that everybody's in unison and working together. So I think that's what we always want, and we want that from our leagues and our organizations. If they've got something going on, it's about community. What we do is community service, and we're trying to plug that and make sure that the opportunity is there for residents of every which way. It doesn't have to be just sports based or trips or just hanging out at a park. There's plenty of things going on all the time, especially here in Londonderry.
Which is nice.
It is.
It really is. And at the Rotary, Doug spoke to. We asked him to come and speak at the Rotary just a couple weeks ago. Phenomenal job, and the Rotary was so excited to hear about all the good things that are going on in our community. But you also had a great line about why we do things. It was a quote you had. I just think it's one to be remembered.
Yeah, so I can't give. I wish I could give credit to where I remember where I saw it, but it was work for a cause, not applause. So
work for a cause,
that's something
not
I think
applause.
I try to do that
I knew you'd love
daily.
that,
I think a lot of
That's
people.
awesome.
I think those of us that are in in human services, those of us that are working for town hall, we're about. It's about that. It really is at the end of the day. Yeah, we all need jobs, but it's also it's nice when you're doing it for that cause, and you're not doing it get a pat on the back, or it's about what the actual work entails. So work for a cause, not applause. Yep.
I love that, and that is what Londonderry Town Hall, police, fire, alert, the residents. I think that's what makes Londonderry different. Why our little corner of the world is pretty wonderful because of good people like you and Art and so many others out there. So thank you for being with us. I think that's a perfect way for our episode 73 to end, to work for a cause and not applause. So thank you for the quote too, Doug, and thank you for all the good you're doing.
Thank you again for inviting me to be here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was great.
Good night.